Billy D, and this is your Weekly Buzz with, as always, a very, very special guest all the way from Arizona?
Phoenix, Arizona, all the way,
Arizona.
5.5 hour drive, piece of cake, hop in
Dr.
the car,
Jack
radio, good to go.
Wolfson. Let's give it up for Dr. Jack. Now, you've gotten a little trouble. We'll get into that in a little bit. But you've got a book called The Paleo Cardiologist, which I just started reading. It's in my backpack to take on the plane tomorrow. I'll probably finish it tomorrow on the plane. How did you get into this whole paleo diet, kind of heart health kind of deal?
It was about 10 years ago and met the woman of my dreams. She happens to be a chiropractor. This is getting to be a pretty famous story. And she opened up my eyes into what is the cause of disease. And the cause of disease, in my mind, poor nutrition, chemicals, and of course, cervical and spinal misalignment, and poor sleep, and lack of exercise, all that kind of stuff. But nutrition really became what I was very interested in. And paleo nutrition just made the most amount of sense. It's what our ancestors did for millions of years. There's some excellent books that are out there on it. And what I found is when I started to apply that to my patients, they really started to improve. They lost weight. They felt better. Their blood tests looked better. Some patients even had less angina, cardiac chest pain. So it was really fantastic.
Yeah, and it's like you really just have to look at the genetic makeup of human beings, and it's not really too hard to figure out that we're designed to be hunter-gatherers. What do you do with people that are like on the other extreme? I mean, obviously it's easy to take somebody that's eating crap and garbage and shit and get them kind of headed in the right direction. But what if you got somebody that's like almost pure vegan, and then you try to talk to them? I mean, how do you work with the vegans?
Well, vegans can definitely be a tough bunch. They are definitely set in their ways, and I guess there's so many different ways to debunk veganism. But the first thing I would say is that every society in the history of the world has been a meat and/or seafood eater.
Right.
All animals either eat other animals or they eat bugs. There's even plants that eat insects and bugs. So when people talk about the animal rights and those issues, there's no one who loves animals more than I do.
I mean, I almost would love to be a vegan if it was healthy for me.
I agree 100%, but the reality is in order for us to achieve maximum health, we have to eat the foods that we are genetically programmed for. And we're talking about free-range grass-fed meats. We're talking about wild seafood such as wild salmon and small fish like sardines, anchovies, herring, smelts, those kind of fish.
And
we're
that
talking
supply
about
is
quality
getting
animals.
less and less as far as the quality and the degree of toxicity that we're dealing with in the oceans anymore too.
The world is polluted. The world is a polluted place, and we have to do everything we can to try and do our best. That's all we can do.
Right. And the thing is, I did a chiropractors in cars with a gentleman, and we talked about all the things that we can do to clean up the cesspool that we basically, we're all big filters in everything we eat or drink or breathe is going to have to be cleansed out of our bodies periodically if you want to reach maximum health.
It's well said, and I think there's a lot of great ways to do it, and I think there's a lot of good references on how to do it. I always recommend my patients obviously get information from me and seek out natural doctors, natural guides that can really help you into true health. But I think we got to maintain a positive nature.
Of course.
As I know you're always Mr. Positive, and that's what we're going to do. Just keep detoxing, keep trying to change the world one step at a time, and I think we're going to get there because we're right. They're wrong, and we're gonna win. That's
and there's
all there is to it.
and this is like a thing that I try to get people to understand. There's way more of us than there are of them. It's just that they've got most people brainwashed the wrong direction. So let's step into what I really wanted to discuss. I mean, Paleolithic stuff's cool, but it ain't about what we're up against right now, which is this. It's like an onslaught across the board, like I stated earlier, of just this concerted, simultaneous effort to vaccinate every child on the planet. And I know that's just the beginning. Then next we're in line. I mean, all health professionals, basically every man, woman, and child on this planet is going to be literally poisoned to death. And I was talking to Wakefield, and I go, do you think that there's an agenda to depopulate the planet with this vaccination thing? And he didn't really give me a straight answer. What's your answer on that? Or what do you think's going? I mean, what's the agenda here?
Well, I think certainly it is about money, it is about power, it is about control. Some people believe in depopulation. I think there's clearly people out there like that. We've seen it in history. We've
Right.
seen leaders in history that have killed millions of people for depopulation purposes that they didn't want or deemed fit for their society. So there's no doubt that's a large part of it going on right now. But I think the fundamental nature is just corporate driven. It's money. It's politicians in the hands of the corporations, and the corporations have to continue making their money. The pharmaceutical industry is dead. They're dead in the water.
Yeah, I know.
There's no more new drugs that they're really coming up with. The old ones were lousy, and the new ones.
Well, drugs suck.
There's nothing that's new. Drugs are poison. We are in a total agreement with that. So what do? You create this whole new industry. You create this vaccine industry, and then you mandate that everybody has to be a customer, and then you say that you cannot sue the doctors, the hospitals, or the pharmaceutical companies. What a gig they got. It's incredible. How about this? I'm a chiropractor, and I make a law and says everybody has to see a chiropractor.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you don't like the way you feel after your adjustment, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, you suck, okay?
And which is great for us. We don't have to carry malpractice anymore.
Right.
Myself as a cardiologist, I don't have to carry malpractice anymore because of that. I mean, it's a travesty, but we're gonna win. We may lose a few battles here and there.
I think we're gonna lose a few soldiers here and
We're
there.
going to win. We're going to win the battle.
Okay, and here's the other side of it. It's like, and I don't think it's about the money. I think it's all about power and control, and I think it's definitely I think it's because the money thing is they got all the money. I mean, they own the printing presses. I think there's a higher order to this whole thing, and because you're seeing such a global just like turnover within the past couple months where everything's focused on let's vaccinate everybody. If it was just popping up here and there, and I would think that maybe, it was more of a kind of a corporate kind of gig. But the thing that we're seeing, like you're seeing a massive onslaught in places like Australia, you're seeing it everywhere in the North America, including Canada. So I just know there's something deeper going on, and I know for ahead, and like I say, I stay positive because I'm just, my new motto is party like it's 1999.
Right.
Let's rock and roll. Let's go. But I feel sorry for the kids.
And
you have kids.
I've got 2 kids. This whole issue means the world to me. 3-year-old, 8-year-old. They're such amazing boys. There is no way I'm injecting them with chemicals.
No!
I spend my entire life trying to protect them, and that's what I'm going to spend my entire life doing, is trying to protect them. I'll go back to, I agree with, with control, because, with control of what they're trying to do, if you try and keep everyone slowly getting sick, which you're trying to do, as opposed to maybe, outbreaks of sickness,
right.
You keep everybody nice and quiet, and nobody knows what's going on. The people are stupid. The people are sheeple, and we're doing this. We're doing this for the kids. Why else would anyone do it?
No.
People have accused me of being anti-kid or anti-woman and anti-medicine. I mean, why else would we say these things? I mean, because we want to be entertainers,
right?
We're doctors, we're physicians, we're healers, and the reason
but
why
we're quacks
we do this
because we don't have the MD more dope after our name. That's what I don't care. I'm thankful I'm quack if that means I go against the common thought that drugs and surgeries heal.
I'd rather be a duck than a pill pusher.
No kidding.
Rather be a duck.
And the other thing that blows my mind is it's like all the friggin' side effects from the vaccines is a whole nother. It just boosts the whole back end of their whole industries. We got treatments for autism, which just autism is another word for vaccine injured. It's nothing more than that. It's just, and I know you want to think that there's no association between autism and vaccines because you believe your friggin' TV set. Allergies, ADHD, asthma, all that is a side effect.
And those are just the A's.
Right.
Those are just the A words.
Right. Now, did you get in a little, I mean, we were kind of worried that you might have a little problem with the man because you were on the news. What were you on, CNN or something?
I was on CNN. I was in the Washington Post. I was in the Time Magazine, USA Today. I was supposed to go on Fox, and I realized at that point there's no reason to talk to mainstream media.
Like getting beat up.
They're absolutely worthless. And I mean, not only beaten up, but not even given a chance to defend yourself. That's even the worst part. I mean, that's like getting beat up with both hands, tied behind your back.
And kicked in the nuts a couple times. Yeah.
Exactly. But as far as mainstream media, I'm absolutely done with them. No more conversations along those lines.
Yeah, and I get people that I try to get people to understand that when you watch your TV set, you're supporting that whole conglomerate that brainwashes everybody else. I'm saying if we all collectively unplugged our TV sets, which I think is the biggest waste of friggin' time on planet Earth. Buy his book.
Please,
Paleo Cardiologist. It's
Paleo
great.
Cardiologist.
You got some
yes.
good. It's actually got a little sense of humor in there too. I
think I definitely try and bring some levity to the situation. My story with my wife and my transformation and the trouble I got into with medical doctors. I mean, having to apologize to medical doctors for referring my patients to chiropractors and to other natural doctors and taking people off drugs. I had to apologize a couple times. It's called the Paleo Cardiologist because that's who I am, but there are 17 chapters in my book, 2 of which are about paleo. So a good friend of mine is actually a vegan cardiologist, and we butt heads from time to time, but he bought my book, he promotes my book because he knows that the grand message is there.
Right.
So that's really what it's all about, getting that out there. Chapter 14 is called The Wonders of Chiropractic. It's a great chapter. It's not comprehensive about chiropractic, of course, because I'm not a chiropractor, but it is basically saying, go see a chiropractor. That's what all my patients do. That's what I recommend. I'm not giving you the shameless chiropractic plug because you're a chiropractor.
Right.
It's obviously what I believe. It works and it heals.
Well, you're married to one, so your publisher didn't say to take that chapter out, did he?
No.
Okay, but he did make you take the chapter out on the geoengineering stuff, which was close to my heart. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, because I don't want to jeopardize your book sales. Right?
No. It's got no worry about book sales. I mean, listen, sometimes you listen to your publisher, the publisher pulls the strings a little bit.
Sure.
But the issue of geoengineering, it really highlighted the fact when I was driving out here today from Phoenix to the LA area. It was geoengineering all over the place.
Right.
There
and
were just lines back and forth all over.
Protection, of course. And they're only doing that to protect you and I from global warming.
No doubt.
All right, so you're gonna kill it tonight, bringing some heat into the DCS club. I'm
so excited to be here. I'm very, very jazzed to be speaking to my family, to my brothers.
Yeah, right.
Thank you so much for having me.
And if you want to see Dr. Wolfson on video, you can go to caljam.org/network. And shall I do the Billy Bucks thing? Okay, and then if you type in the word Billy Bucks, you can watch it for free for a month. And then thereafter, it's $7 a month. You can watch all the CalJam videos from this year, the year before, the year before, the year before that, and also all past DCSs that we have on record, and also any future DCSs and any of the events that we do in the office, nutrition, vaccine, all those different workshops are available to you for a mere $7 a month. So just don't buy that one Starbucks coffee if you can handle that. All right, anything else you want to say in closing?
I was at...
and how do they get a hold of you?
I was at CalJam. CalJam was a blast. I met so many cool people, great lectures. It was awesome. To get a hold of me, you can go to thedoctorswolfson.com, and DRS is abbreviated. We're also on Facebook. We're on Twitter and other social media. My medical practice site, my cardiology site, which is all natural. I've got patients flying in from all over the world, is Wolfson Integrative Cardiology. And that's where people come to get off pharmaceuticals and actually find out what the real cause is of cardiovascular disease, and we prevent it.
Which isn't real hard to figure out for most people. Sorry. I'm never normal. And your book, how would they get a copy of your book?
Go to thedoctorswolfson.com. It's available there. It's also available on Amazon and other e-tailers and bookstores coming soon as of June 2nd. Yeah. So big things are happening. Spreading the word, getting the word out there, one book at a time, but we'll do it.
All right. Can you say rock and roll?
Rock and roll.
All right, rock and roll. We're going to rock these guys. We'll hope to see you on the flip side. Over and out. Peace and love. Me and Jack. This video is sponsored by my friends over at mychiropractic.com. Custom branding and web design for successful chiropractors. I love these dudes because they're raising the image of chiropractic, and I really thank them for supporting all of our videos. Rock and roll.
This year, we're providing on-demand videos of all our past CalJams and DCS meetings, streaming online, available straight to your media devices. Visit caljam.org/network for more information.